The building with a tiled roof, the flagpole in the dead centre, the rear entrance to the world famous Savoy Hotel. The Savoy is one of the most famous hotels in the world, also one of the most expensive. I don't know whether anyone saw the programme last year on ITV television called Inside the Savoy. The penthouse apartments over there are £16,500 per night. Now this is the Waterloo Bridge. It was completed during the Second World War by the Land Army. More affectionately known here on the Thames as the Ladies Bridge. This is because the Land Army at that time was made up by 80% female labour. All our men were away fighting in the armed forces. It's also, though, the only bridge to ever be completed on time and on budget. To your right, the building with the illuminated sign is the National Theatre. It has been voted by 7 of London's top architects as being the ugliest looking building in London. King Charles, back when he was Prince Charles, he once said that building looked more like the back end to a nuclear power station. Now to the left hand side there's a large white ship. It is called the Wellington. It's the floating livery hall for the Honourable Company of Past Master Mariners. To be a Master Mariner, you have to have served over 25 years at sea. Now it's very difficult to see as we've got a good high tide at the moment, but as we go past the ship, look behind the flag on the back of the ship. Behind it, on the river wall, you will see a stone archway with the face of old Father Thames overlooking his old river. This is called the Temple Arch. It is the boundary line between two cities. Back in 1931, when he incorporated the product's name into the building. Look at the red brick building. Look at the tower up on the top of the windows. Oxo. I'm sure you've all heard of Oxo. The people who make the famous gravy stock cube. Now the building no longer belongs to the Oxo company, but it is a Grade 2 listed building. Therefore, it can never ever legally be removed. Comprises of many things. Bottom's a few shops. Middle is luxury apartments. The top is the famous Oxo Tower restaurant. To your left hand side, the building with a sloped roof, the spire in the middle, the old City of London School for Boys. Many famous people were educated in that building. Lord Asquith, Lloyd George, 2 of our former Prime Ministers. The building now belongs to JP Morgan, the American bank. We are now approaching a group of bridges. The first one being the Blackfriars Road Bridge. It is followed by the Blackfriars Railway Bridge. But as we pass down through, in the middle, you'll see all that remains from the first ever railway bridge to span the River Thames. the old St Paul's Railway Bridge. It carried the first steam trains across the river for the Chatham-Dover railway system. Now the top half of the bridge, the go, it couldn't take the weight of the modern day trains. But you can never remove these old pillars. If you was to pull these out, you would actually undermine the foundations of the modern day bridge, and it would become unsafe. So that is why these 8 red pillars still remain. Now through the bridges, coming up on the right, we have a building with a tall chimney, the old Bankside Power Station. Today, the Tate Modern Arts Gallery. Now if you want to see things like a pile of old bricks or half a cow in a jar, that is the place to go. If you want to see a real work of art, you look to the left hand side. Dominating the skyline, the dome and golden cross on Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece, St Paul's Cathedral. It took Wren 35 years to complete. It stands 365 feet tall. It is the second largest unsupported cathedral dome in Europe, second to that of St Peter's in the Vatican City of Rome. The red brick building in front of St Paul's, the new City of London School. Young man called Daniel Radcliffe went to school there before he became Harry Potter. As we pass beneath Norman Foster's Millennium Footbridge, look to your right. There is a white circular building with a thatched roof. It's the replica of William Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. It was built at the dream of an American film director, Sam Wanamaker. It's the first building in London to be built entirely out of wood since the Great Fire of London of 1666. Go over there today and see an old Shakespearean play being reenacted, as it would have been done in Shakespeare's time. In front of us we have the Southwark Bridge, opened in 1921. But look up above the bridge, in front of us on the right. Dominating the skyline we have the Shard. At the moment the Shard is still the tallest tower block in Western Europe, 1,016 feet tall. Comprises of many things: a luxury 5-star hotel, private apartments, a few different restaurants. The top is a viewing gallery. Before we go through Southwark Bridge, look to the right hand corner at the foot of the bridge. There is a flight of stairs coming into the river, the Southwark Causeway, also known as Wren's Stairs. It was on them stairs where Sir Christopher Wren used to board a small rowing boat every morning before being rowed across the river to supervise the building of St Paul's Cathedral. Through the bridge, if we keep looking to the right, a very old and historical pub, the Anchor Bankside. In 2015 it celebrated its 400th birthday. Over the years was frequented by many famous people, including William Shakespeare. The original Globe Theatre stood somewhere behind the pub in a place called Park Street. It's one of the nicer riverside pubs. It does get ever so busy. Now this is the Cannon Street Railway Bridge. And that's it really. No historical interest in this bridge whatsoever. But in front of us we have the New London Bridge. This one was opened by Queen Elizabeth II in 1973. First ever London Bridge dates back to the Roman times of AD 43. London Bridge before this became unsafe, was taken down stone by stone and sold to an American oil company, where it now spans Lake Havasu in the Arizona desert, USA. Now keeping with American history, look to your right. Look between the gap of the buildings. You'll see the lovely Southwark Cathedral. There's been a place of worship over there since the 12th century. It was over there where a man called John Harvard was baptised, the son of a local tradesman. He left England and went to America, where he founded the Harvard Library, which in turn became a part of the Harvard University in Massachusetts, USA. Now as we pass through the London Bridge, look to your left, look between the gap of the buildings. There is a tall stone column with a golden top. It's Sir Christopher Wren's monument to the Great Fire of London of 1666. Built to represent a candle. They say it was a candle which started the fire in a baker's shop in a place called Pudding Lane. Light on its end in easterly direction touched the point of where the baker's shop once stood. Now also to the left, the lovely yellow brick building is the old Billingsgate Fish Market. A fish market stood on that site for nearly 900 years, until the late 80s when the tradition was sadly broken. It moved downstream to larger premises in the Docklands area. The building today is a private function hall. In front of us on the right, we have London's very own warship, the HMS Belfast. She was the largest of the light cruisers ever built for the British Royal Navy. Weighs 11,500 tonne. Saw active service during World War II. Decommissioned from the Navy in the 1970s. And then call our next stop Tower Bridge St Catherine's. Now please listen very carefully as I'll give you the information on the tickets and returning boats. Returning boat, if you have the Tower Bridge ticket, single or return, you must leave the boat at this point. Returning boats leave here every 40 minutes. Last boat tonight leaves here at 4:40. Now if you have the Greenwich ticket or the River Pass, you must stay on board this boat. We are the last boat in the service today if you're going to Greenwich. But if you don't have that ticket, and I do hope you've enjoyed these few points and places of interest. As I pointed out before I started, I'm sure you've realised by now, we're not professional guides on these boats. But unfortunately, they don't employ professional guides. What they do, when you buy your ticket, you get a small leaflet. The leaflet is a little map, and that is your guide. Now, us the crew feel that is a bit of a waste of time for you to come on the river and not have anyone tell you what you're looking at. So we try and have these little talks with you. Now, we don't get paid as tour guides, and obviously we don't make you charge for this. A lot of people on here haven't understood a word I've said. So all we do on here, we leave up to you, the individual. If you've listened to the commentary, enjoyed it, and would like to show any appreciation for our efforts, you can do so when you leave the boat. I'll be standing by the exit in the old traditional manner with the old champagne bucket. And this is for the appreciation that you might like to show. We feel this is the fairest way. So if you want to throw a couple of bob in the bucket, it's entirely up to you. And for those of you who don't know what a couple of bob is, it's an old English saying for a £10 note. Only joking, of course, folks. Now if you're staying on, as soon as we leave and continue downstream, I will continue with the commentary. If you're getting off, have a lovely afternoon. But all that's left for me to do is thank all of you for your very kind attention. For that, I thank all very much indeed. Thank you.
Ahorita preguntamos.